Welcome to the final show before Cash Out. We've got number one contenderships on the line, and oh boy, we've got a great main event. It is our final on the Breakdowns Brackets Tag Team Classic Eliminator. It's going to be one hell of a show, so strap on in as we get into the action thick and fast with a couple of Battle Royales. Well, let's open tonight's show off with our first Battle Royale to determine who goes on to face Julia at Cash Out.
The following is an 8-woman Battle Royale. Making her way to the ring from Los Angeles, California, Nikita Lyons.
This Battle Royale features some of the promising stars of IPW who want a shot. Remember, later on in the show, in our co-main event, the winner of Battle Royale 1 and 2 will face off against one another to determine the number one contendership. So, our first of 8 women in our first Battle Royale is Nikita Lyons. Number 2, it's time for the flashing lights, the glitz and the glamour as the Barbie Blonde enters the fray. Lights flashing, it's all go here for Tiffany.
From Prior Lake, Minnesota, Tiffany Stratton.
Here to realistically put on a show one of the favorites of this side's Battle Royale. Stratton looking ready. Battle Royale situation, probably not something she is too adverse to, but the competition stacks up a former television champion
Alberta, Canada, Natalia.
entering the picture. Here is Natalia, steps up to the plate. So, Natalia in this matchup looking ready. I believe we're actually in the higher contenders, the former champions in the mid-card Battle Royale.
JC Jane.
And from Yorktown Heights, New York, Mandy Rose.
Also, that is a suggestive term in terms of former mid-card champions of the former Resolution case holder. Mandy Rose enters this matchup realistically unsuccessful with that cash-in, but she still utilized that shot, had a chance to go up against Fallon Henley. And while it did not work out in her favor, it has given her a good steed here on Breakdown, where she now enters this, the first Battle Royale of the former champs, former case holders matchup. You may be wondering how Tiffany and Nikita fit into that picture. Well, to put it bluntly, they don't. They are promising future stars as stated, but will continue to ramp up in terms of former champions as Roxanne Perez enters the fray.
From Laredo, Texas, Roxanne Perez.
A former television champion, similar sort of standing to what Natalya was. Roxanne the Prodigy gets to step into this matchup in probably one of the weaker positions in her career. Smaller, easier lightweight star of this matchup, likely to be lawn darted out of the ring. But if she can survive, if she can avoid, she may be able to win this Battle Royale. Remember, the winner of this will have a singles match in the co-main event against the winner of our other Battle Royale. And well, our only champion in this matchup,
Representing American-made from Knoxville, Tennessee, the Women's Underground Champion, Ivy Nile.
as the underground champs in the house, Ivy Nile, bringing the belt to Breakdown. Obviously, one of two champions in IPW Underground, the other being obviously Kurt frickin' Angle. Nile, while this championship is considered a main event belt, has not really made it past some mid-card competition. So tonight, she's going to show her worth here in this Battle Royale, as we welcome our next former champion to the match. Number 7, a hot mess, former television champion Chelsea Green.
And from Victoria, British Columbia, Canada, Chelsea Green.
Green, as we said, a former television champion, capable of realistically picking up the pieces, the scraps left by the competition, and just demoralizing them. Has grown a considerable amount in her career and become this monster of a wrestler who can deal with virtually anyone. And lastly, our final television champion in the matchup. A woman who's had a feud with Roxanne Perez early in IPW's era. Dakota Kai looking
Their opponent, representing Damage Control from Auckland, New Zealand, Dakota Kai.
maybe to reignite the flames of that rivalry. He now has to go up against her in this Battle Royale, and if I'm honest, I expect there to be bloodshed, carnage across this ring. One of these ladies to stand tall above the rest. As we said, all former champions, more or less, bar 2. Or 3, technically, if you include current champions, but we're straight away into this Battle Royale. As the bell rang, the action has begun, and you can start to see some matchups forming. As Natalya battles Ivy Nile, it's Mandy Rose and Tiffany, Chelsea Green and Dakota Kai, Nikita Lyons and Roxanne Perez. The early goings you expect to be thick and fast. Maybe some alliances form to work together to deal with the thick competition that sits inside this ring. Or we'll potentially just see early eliminations occurring, as it's every woman for themselves in this matchup. And you look at the lineup of talent in this matchup, it's hard to pick who will be the first one eliminated. But this is certainly an interesting matchup. Obviously, as we're after Cash Out, we will be heading towards the Winter Classic and New Year's Clash for our 1-year anniversary show. And last year we had that Women's Rumble. This year, I believe we may have a similar thing during that main card, as we're seeing some bodies tossed over the top. Natalya and Roxanne hanging on to the edge by Niall and Tiffany, who's trying to eliminate them. And the first woman out is Natalya by our Underground champion. Niall netting the first elimination as Kai runs the ropes, trying to maybe go chiropractor. Can't do so. Instead, gonna maybe eliminate Mandy Rose. The answer's no, but on the other side of things, I missed it completely, but Niall has been eliminated. The Underground champion's gone from this matchup. That could maybe spark a matchup in the Underground. Roxanne's gone now. We're down to 5 as there's a chiropractor connecting flush onto Green. But she's not going to be eliminated here, thanks to Nikita Lyons protecting Chelsea here. Maybe a new alliance forming in the moment. Maybe it could be one for the future. Who knows? Either way, detonation kick there from Kai connects onto Nikita, who protected Green and now could be on the verge of elimination. Kai gonna pick her up, trying to get her out the ring. Chelsea not gonna help Nikita here. Instead, just watching on as the other 4 women battle. The pump kick misses. Green now gonna receive some kicks from Kai. Tiffany sends Green flying and she is gone. The final 4 here. Mandy Rose, Tiffany Stratton, Dakota Kai, and Nikita Lyons. I'm kind of impressed with how well Nikita's done here, as she busts open Dakota and Tiffany gets busted open by Mandy Rose. You gotta be impressed with someone who's realistically not got the same championship pedigree as the rest of the other women in this matchup. Not a former anything, not even a former challenger. Something that Tiffany has above her. Same with Mandy Rose. Kaya, former television champion. Nice step up in Zaguri by Dakota. Stomping into the chest now. And you have to think, the longer this match goes on, remember, this is the start of the show as an Alabama slam comes through from Tiffany. This is the start of the show. Granted, there are 3 other matches before that number 1 contendership bout the winner will have to be in. And one of them obviously is the other Battle Royale, as Mandy holds on for a moment, but she's gone. Final 3 time. Nikita Lyons, Dakota Kai, and Tiffany Stratton. All alive and kicking. You've got a former television champion, a former challenger, as well as an upstart superstar here in IPW. Eyes on Tiffany. who corkscrews out the corner, flattening Dakota, but Nikita's going to catch Tiffany off guard. Nice lariat there by Stratton to fire back onto Nikita Lyons. All the while, Dakota recovering on the apron, not going to be contended, not going to be pushed, and survives a potential elimination. Kai sent high with that maneuver, that spine buster by Stratton. That's a single leg Boston Crab in a Battle Royale. Not what you typically expect to see. Nikita sent running. Power slam by Stratton. Dakota's watching on with bated breath. Now going to get into the action. Scorpion death drop. Puts down Tiffy. And now setting her up. Chiropractor. Gonna cause some damage there to Stratton, as now Nikita may be able to pick up the pieces. Never mind. Kai's gonna protect Stratton, realizes Tiffy is pretty much on the verge of elimination anyway. Get rid of the fresher star and get it one step closer to the W. Nikita fights out the grasp of Kai into the fireman's carry of Stratton. Green Bay plunge. And now Stratton takes down Nikita. Nikita not going to stay down for long. She is trying to get rid of Tiffy. Dropkick connects there. As now it's Kai once again standing tall. Has Tiffy up and detonates the kick on her face. Nikita's back to her feet, eats a kick to the gut. A high roundhouse, and now could be eliminated. Kai lifting her up. Will she be able to toss her out? Nikita hanging on, but the boots being applied could force her out the ring. The answer to that question is no, because Nikita fights back, gets to a vertical base, as Kai gonna be eliminated. Our final two, Tiffany Stratton, Nikita Lyons, and Nikita not gonna be able to get Tiffany down and out like what she just did to Kai. Stratton, Nikita Lyons, gonna have to battle for this. Split. Connects. That splits leg drop gonna do a lot of damage to Stratton, who's already eaten a chiropractor. Nikita tosses her out. And the winner of the former Champions Battle Royale is not a former champion. It's a future prospect. Nikita Lyons earns the W in this one. You kind of have to say I'm impressed. She bought her time and struck when she needed to earn the W. And to be honest, she does not get out of this unscathed. See there, eats a detonation kick from Dakota Kai. But this was just Tiffy and Kai battling one another. Obviously two very solid stars here in IPW. Once this chiropractor connected, it spelt the end really for Tiffany in this matchup. Lyons then just had to deal with Dakota, who was doing all the work to Tiffy. And then, yes, Stratton sent over the top.
Here is your winner, Nikita Lyons.
As Nikita advances into our first number one contendership position. Can she keep that momentum going? in our co-main event. We shall see. Well, from that first former champs and kind of future prospects battle royale,
Following contest is an 8-woman battle royal. Making her way to the ring from Miami, Florida, Lola Vice.
we go into almost certainly a future prospects battle royale. This one is filled to the brim with our mid-card talent who really deserve a shot or deserve to be in the picture of the championship. First, we have a star that creating waves in the underground in Lola Vice. He's stepping up to the plate to face some very difficult competition. Namely, a woman part of that unholy union. The top guy gene.
And from Wellington, New Zealand, Blair Davenport.
Blair Davenport enters the fray for this one. A lot of green mist surrounds her entrance, and he brings that sinister style that brings potential knockouts. I'd say if you look at Lola Vice for the power in the fist, we've had her spinning back fist finisher. You have to look at the legs of Blair Davenport as very much a brutal weapon of hers. That axe kicking style, those crane type kicks as well. Blair has it all when it comes to that regard. We're starting to see a theme here with our future prospects.
From Fontana, California, Meathead.
I would say these three are well suited to the underground. Strikers is striking is their main forte of weapons. A style suited to KO matches, to first bloods, to those style of MMA bouts, them KOs. What they hunt for. And that is very much an IPW underground trait. And we'll continue with that trait as we bring out Jada Parker. It is just knockout central here in this battle royale.
Port St. Lucie, Florida, Jada Parker.
I look at this matchup. You're looking, and I kind of think that we're going to just see some carnage unfold in front of our eyes. And maybe if you're Ludwig Kaiser, the general manager of IPW Underground, he's going to be looking at this matchup with bated breath, hoping one of his quote-unquote gals earns victory. He had the champion falling short in the previous battle royale, but he has still got some chances here. In fact, pretty good chances of making it to that number one contendership bout.
Dallas, Texas.
Next, Ren Sinclair. I'd say also IPW Underground sort of style, but less about the knockouts, more about that technical wrestling. The No Quarter Catch Crew or the Ren QCC. Very much bringers of technical wrestling and a style that maybe not that suited for a battle royale. We shall see how she fares though. As well, this is who I have as favorite of this second battle royale. La Primera, Stephanie Vaquer.
And from San Fernando, Chile, Stephanie Paquet.
This is more of a bona fide wrestler than an underground star. Power, check. Speed, check. Aerial offense, check. Everything sits in favor of Stephanie Vaquer in this matchup. I, for one, think she's gonna be number one in this battle royale. Number 7.
And from Glen Ridge, New Jersey, Katana Chance.
Could be in 7 heaven and earn the victory in this battle royale. Katana Chance. We're losing that underground style as the rest of the stars enter the fray. Agile. Christ, she is innovative, as you can see by her climbing up the LED ring post. But also a very crafty wrestler. It's something you need to be in a battle royale. You need to be able to avoid, you need to be able to not con people, but persuade them to go for someone else. You're not the threat, and that is something that Katana Chance is pretty good at doing. And finally, we've got more of that underground style to finish this matchup.
And their opponents, representing the Pure Fusion Collective from Las Vegas, Nevada, Zoe Stark.
Stark, well-rounded, let's be honest. Her style is very much on that kickboxing type of offense. I'd say she does have a lot of power, resiliency, speed. Well suited, I would say, to a battle royale against other sluggers. And don't be surprised if she does come out on top in our future Prospects Battle Royale. And once again, we're out of the gates quick. Nice double underhook. German suplex there from Ren to start the action off against Lola. Now going to DDT her way through Zoe Stark. And yes, expect suplexes. Expect just craziness from these ladies. If our previous Battle Royale was more of the wrestler's dream, this is all about striking. This is all about just bringing the pain and the havoc inside the ring. Snap vertical suplex there from Blair. Connecting onto Ren as a spinning heel kick goes right there from Zoe Stark. Is able to get back up and now targeting Katana Chance, who puts her in the corner. Beyond the verge of our first elimination here as Dark going to be maybe lifted up and over. The answer to that's no, as the action on the other side of the ring. Lola Vice lofted up. Eat defeat there by Katana Chance. She's firing off some big shots early. Around the world on Ren as she takes her down with the head scissors. Vice has mounted Jada Parker. No love lost there between those two ladies. Scorpion Death Drop by Vice again. This time on to Michin. As the action is not slowing down in the slightest. It is all about being able to stand tall as there are carcasses around the ring. We already said it's about the strikes that are coming through. We've seen quite a lot of big shots, kicks especially, as that's a nice roundhouse by Vice. Taking it now to Stark, and well, a couple more and then sweeping out the other leg. Vice is starting to roll here. Saito suplex. Davenport takes down Michin. Stark put in the corner. Detonation kick there by Chance. Who eats a backbreaker from Stephanie Vakir afterwards. It's very explosive offense to start with, but no one's close to being eliminated. The yes kicks coming in from Michin. Blair trying to get rid of Jada Parker, but can't do so. Half and half, not going to land as Stark sees Davenport land on her feet. Blair, not going to go out the ring just yet. Hangs on as she skins the cat. Davenport and Stark really battling as Blair not going to go for the elimination here. Instead, up top, a Michinoku driver, I believe. As our first elimination sees Katana Chance out of the picture. She's gone. I did not see who eliminated her. I think it might have been Jada Parker. Big knee strike there from Davenport. Connecting onto Stark as Ren hanging on. Able to survive. Thanks to Blair's German suplex antics. STO. Side Russian leg sweep, I should say. Connecting onto Davenport as Ren lines up Parker. Lifts her up. Close to eliminating her. We're not going to see it. Instead, we're seeing the knee hit the side of the face. And Parker's gone thanks to Ren's effort. The last Battle Royale I saw Ren Sinclair in did not end well for her. But she did have an iconic moment inside of it. Drop block onto Stark here by Michin as Vice and Ren battling now. Eat defeat onto Stark as that's a rear naked choke applied onto Ren. Fighting out the grasp of Lola. Stark's gone. Davenport delivers the kill shot. Meanwhile, Vakir hanging on. She's gone. The favourite to win it all gone as well as Lola's given us a shimmy and a shake. Michin, Blair, Lola and Ren. The only women standing in this matchup. And you look at it, this field, you think, who could battle Julia? Who would have the best shot? And honestly, it's hard to pick. I'd say Lola Vice. Meanwhile, Michin, fuckbuster, slams down Ren. Irish Whip sends Michin for a run backdrop from Blair off of said run. Meanwhile, Lola lining up, axe kick to the back. Ren's down. Is she out of this? Hanging on and gone. We're down to 2. Blair Davenport. And that's Lola Vice's finisher used against her. Blair Davenport and Lola Vice standing, or kind of currently on the mat, battling. Our final 2. We're gonna be guaranteed a fresh #1 contender for the TV champ, for the Amethyst belt. Held by Julia. Vice trapped in the corner. Void being attempted to be eliminated. Davenport sends her for a run and connects with a knee. It's going to be Blair Davenport versus Nikita Lyons in our co-main event. Early on, the action was explosive. Battles broke out everywhere. As said, I had a favorite of Stephanie Vaquer, who, as we saw, did not win this match. In fact, she was eliminated pretty early on. And there's reasons behind it. The spinning bank fist from Vice connecting certainly did not help her in this competition. But as we watch the end,
Here is your winner, Blair Davenport.
it was close. There was a lot of action. But only one woman can stand supreme, and it's the top guy, Gene. Well, now that we know our co-main event, how about we focus towards an actual #1 contendership bout? That's right. Women's Tag Team Championships in contention.
Is a tag team match set for one fall. On the way to the ring, Jakara Jackson and Last Legend Metaphor.
There's a lot to discuss as to why this matchup is happening, but let's cut to the chase. Simply put, it's down to originally the Bella Twins winning out their matches against, well, Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. It was there where the tag champions attacked, made their surprise return to break down after the brand split, and now, in their first matchup of action, the champions lost to the Meta 2. As such, we now have this matchup where we have the team that beat the champs versus a team that deserved to be against the champs.
And their opponents, Nick E. Bell-R and Britt Bell-R. Pretty Mean Sisters.
The Bellas, we know, bring a air of cockiness about them, and I'd say that they are a very similar sort of team to what Meta 2 are. I'd say the Meta 2 probably have learnt a lot from these Hall of Famers. And, well, can you blame them? Nikki and Brie bring a certain level of competition. Both former Divas champions. A lot of lineage. A lot of accomplishments they have held. As we get underway, it's Brie versus Lash. It's interesting that it's this matchup to start, as you've got, well, the power of the Meta 2 versus the speed and technical wrestling of the Bella Twins. To start this matchup off, and you feel that as soon as Jakara gets in, this matchup's going to pick up in tempo, because it's the two speedy gals in the ring, as the Meta 2 taking an early advantage. Nice maneuver there from Jakara off of the shoulders of Lash. And now the two, I'd say, similar styles are going to go to war against one another as Brie takes on Jakara. Only for a moment, as Nikki now brought in the ring the power of the Bella Twins. Expect this to get a little bit more difficult for Jakara Jackson, who now has to deal with, I would say, a very fired up Nikki Bella. And just for the tag champions, we know that they'll have a close eye on this, obviously trying to pick apart their opponents, discover weaknesses ahead of their clash at Cash Out with one of these two teams. From my perspective, if I am the tag champions, I would realistically want to target or hope that the Meta 2 get the W, because you've seen what they can do as a unit together against yourself firsthand. And you should be able to game plan, should be able to beat them with probably some great ease. But right now, that's a little out of the equation, considering Nikki and Brie have just been controlling Jakara Jackson inside the ring. Nikki just putting those educated feet to good use here against Jakara. Causing a lot of damage to the spine and the lower half of her body. As well, the Bella's shoulder tackle. Misses in the leg drop. Jakara misses her follow-up shot now. And Brie gets to go to work here, kicking away at Jakara Jackson. Irish whip reversed. And now Jakara gets going the offensive, only for a brief moment before Brie gets involved. Tag made. The Bellas on the offensive. I think we're going for a cartwheel ride. Down goes Jakara. Pinfall attempt early into this matchup. Not going to get a win here off of it, but certainly forcing Jakara to action. Big right, gonna miss. Instead, nice maneuver by Jakara. Cause some separation. Give her maybe a chance to get out of the ring, but not gonna take it instead. Vertical suplex. And what we saw from the Meta 2 against the tag champions was certainly impressive. It was a lot of interesting maneuvers. I would say that the synergy they showcased against both JC Jane and Jasmine Nix realistically gave them the win. They picked up the tempo. They flattened their opponent. And I have to say, Jacy Jayne put on one hell of a showing, showcasing her resiliency. But it wasn't enough to withstand all the punishment that Lash and Jakara could do. Meanwhile, Nikki, military press slam. Just utilizing her power to great effect there against Lash Legend. Tag made. Bella's setting up. Nice gut punch there. Missing the roundhouse. But Brie catches her with the lower leg kick to set up for the yes kicks. Bang! Knockout shot as Brie makes the tag. In comes Nikki. That was a quick tag in and out by the Bellas. The axe gets dropped across the head of Lash and the pin comes through. Jakara's into the picture. Keeps this matchup alive for the meta too. Tag yet again. Again a punch to the gut. Brie maybe looking for that Bella Buster. Can't get it instead. Lash powers her up and brings her down into that backbreaker. Choke slam! High offense used there as she elevated Brie sky high. Brie isn't gonna be phased by it. Kicked out pretty quickly. But she eats a Saito suplex. Lash unloading some heavy offense now onto Brie. Brings in Jakara to maybe pick up the scraps. Going for that cutter. Can't connect instead. Dropkick misses from Brie. Jakara Irish whip. Sets Brie up. Takes the legs out from underneath her and is gonna go for the cover. 1, 2, and a kick out there by Brie. Keeping the Bella Twins alive in this matchup. Backbreaker from Jakara, keeping the pressure on here. Tag made. Lash back in. Expect this to go well for the meta too. Trying to go chokeslam instead. Turns it into a choke bomb. Pinfall attempt. Brie is down. Able to roll that shoulder off the mat at the last moment. The meta too. They're certainly rolling. Frequent tags are giving them good advantage here over Brie Bella. But Brie fighting back with a jawbreaker. Jakara's in trouble now. That separation caused there by Brie gives her the opportunity to tag out. In comes Nikki. Big right forearm smash. Connecting to the face of Jakara. Only nets a 1 though for Nikki. However, Nikki yet to land her big time offense. Instead, sends Jakara into Bella territory. Can't get the tag. Is able to connect with the forearm smashes. Takes her up. Torture rack position. Rack attack connects. Jakara planted. Down for the cover. Lashes in the ring and breaks it up. Realizes the danger that the Bella Twins are possessing right now. No tag just yet. Jakara needs to get out of there. As Nikki and Brie are starting to roll, they do make it out. And now, wheelbarrow, we saw this a lot. Cutter! This was what was utilized to beat Fatal Influence. But it was never enough. Bree breaks up the first one this time. Can't get the tag out again. Nikki sending Lash downtown into Bella territory. They do make the tag. An Irish whip. Backdrop. Coming through. But Lash is still pretty healthy, pretty resilient. Back to her feet after taking that maneuver and now back on the offensive. Bree's taking some big shots. She already has taken some heavy offense. Tag made. Lash, an uppercut. Has Jakara on her shoulders yet again. What they thinking here? Elbow drop this time. Goes for the cover. Nikki not coming in. Means Bree kicking out, forced into action herself. Jakara, Irish whip. Sends Bree into friendly territory. Irish whip again. This time Bree gets elevated into the sky by Lash and Jakara. The Meta 2 exit the ring, which gives Bree the opportunity to tag out and bring in Nikki. Nikki really trying to get that gut kick. Just out of range again. Takes a punch, but avoids the follow-up from Lash. The Bellas really need something here to really bring it to the opposition. How about this? Big knee to the face. Lash back up though quickly, but caught again by Nikki. Rib breaker coming into effect. Lash tags out, so does Nikki. Speed versus speed. Nice dropkick missing. Both these ladies avoiding the offense of one another. Irish whip. Bree gonna be on the receiving end of something here. A leapfrog from Jakara, who picks the ankle yet again. Goes for the cover off of this. Nikki into the ring this time and breaks it up. Jakara targeting Nikki. Shoulder breaker. Giving Bree an opportunity to go on the offensive, but there's a hair pull mat slam from Jakara to cause some separation. Irish whip's going to be reversed though. Bree now setting up for the yes kicks. Unloading 4 and then 1 to the skull. She domes Jakara and goes for the cover. 1 and a breakup by Lash. Means this matchup still rolls on. But Bree's lining Jakara up. Power Buster! Is that enough? 1, 2, 3. And just like that, the Bellas cement their number 1 contendership, their rank 1 in the women's tag division. I'll be honest, it was a very solid performance by them. Really did not allow too much heavy offense from the Meta 2 to really subdue them as a unit, and it meant that the matchup was quite quick and easy for the Bellas here tonight. Hopefully they can ride this wave of momentum into Cash Out this weekend and net themselves victory over Fatal Influence. But we shall see. Obviously, a lot could happen during that matchup. It means that the Bellas don't get the gold. But right now, I'd say they're in a good standing to win at Cash Out. They beat the team that beat the team of this division. And I, for one, have to think that anything could happen here as we see the final pinfall yet again.
Here are your winners, Nick E. Bell-R and Britt Bell-R.
Well,
Mean Sisters.
well, we've seen number one contenders crowned. How about we go speak to a number one contender right about now? Well, here she comes, the irresistible force, mic in hand. She's got a few words for us here ahead of her championship matchup against Liv Morgan at Cash Out. Obviously, we know that she earned the number one contendership last week against Rhea Bloody Ripley. And tonight, a few words to say about the champion after that attack she put on her, but I've got a feeling the champion has a few words of her own here for Nia Jax. As these two are set to square off on this weekend's Cash Out show. Stare down here could end explosively. Uh-oh. These two are squaring off here. No title on the line. But we're going to see an impromptu matchup. Samoan drop here from Nia. Just bringing it to the champion already. Elbow drop applied. Liv back on the offensive, takes out the leg, trying to take out Jax's base, but can't do so. And this is something we, every time we see Nia Jax compete, talk about. It's just her ability to withstand punishment in the early goings of matches. Liv needs to really bring it to Nia. Thick and fast, get her down like she has done, but Nia quickly rolling out to avoid punishment. The champion already has earned a victory over Nia Jax before and finally able to take her down to the mat. This is good for Liv. She can go back on the offensive. Nice step up into Guri there. Nia back to her feet. It's not a good sign for the champion. Who eats some big shots, fires back with some of her own. Face Buster connects. Liv trying to stomp, missing. Jax missing her flattening maneuver. Now Liv grabbing a hold of Nia. This is not good for the contender. Because the champion is starting to roll. Boots being applied. Forcing Nia almost out the ring with it. This time the stomp connects. Followed up with a boot. And you can see a lot of frustration being relieved here by the champion after the attacks from Nia Jax. This is some sort of revenge. She heads to the second rope. Calling her shot. Nia getting back up. Codebreaker connects and goes for the cover. The champion going to try and get the win early in this match. Gets a 2 off of that. This is just showcasing what the champion can do as an Oblivion connects. if you ever question why Liv is on top here on Breakdown, this is certainly showcasing why she is the best of this division. Ruby belt not on the line for this one, but we can start to see just what Liv can do against Jax, how she can neutralize her. This is certainly a taster to the championship belt we will get this weekend. Nia hooks Liv up though. Not gonna get the Annihilator in. Instead, Liv up and over, driving Jax into the mat. The champion rolling pretty hard here. Off the ropes. Up, head scissors applied. Around the world she goes and takes down Nia with them. Liv very innovative. Nice again with that step up in Zaguri. Champion trying to go big here. You can't elevate Jax up. Backslide by the challenger. One. And a kick out. Imagine if Nia won the matchup like that. Out of nowhere, just sliding Liv's shoulders onto the mat and catching her off guard. Elbow drop by the challenger. A nip up from Liv though. STO from the champion. Up over, snapmare. Number one contender on wobbly legs really is yet to get going in this matchup. This impromptu bout between champ and challenger. Liv Morgan is dominating. Hurricane Rana from Liv, and she is just stepping up to the plate. Jax again tries to flatten Liv. Can't do it. Instead, Des Prez and the head hitting the mat continually. This could be the moment Nia needed to get into this one. Liv fights off the offense, catching Nia. Gonna come running off the side and hits the knees into the face again. Goes for the cover. Nia is down. And a kick out given. Regardless if you win or lose this matchup. If you're Nia Jax, who eats another Oblivion, you're getting some valuable intel on how the champion likes to attack. And there we have it. Nia's been vanquished ahead of Saturday's cash out.
Here is your winner, Liv Morgan.
I have a feeling there may be a different story on Saturday. Sorry, this weekend. Well, it's co-main event time. As the roar of the lion continues here. And this number one contendership bout for the Amethyst belt.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Los Angeles, California, Nikita Lyons.
Earlier in the show, Nikita won our opening Battle Royale. Probably the more difficult matchup of the two. The former champion 8-woman Battle Royale. Now, one more match remains for her and her opponent. A win tonight gives you a date with Julia this weekend. Something that Blair and Nikita realistically both want. As more green mist pumped into the arena ahead of this clash.
And her opponent from Wellington, New Zealand, Blair Davenport.
Two solid kickers. Strikers to the very end in terms of their style. Nikita utilized that splits to realistically eliminate the final opponent, doing enough damage to them to get the win in that 8-woman battle royale to start the show. B followed it up with her own special ending, sending her opponents flying over the top. She didn't need to use her own finisher to do it. She used the resiliency, her timing, to pick the moment to strike to earn herself this shot. Who walks out of Breakdown tonight number 1 contender? Let us find out right now, because B and Nikita have gone through one war already. They now have to go to war against one another to get themselves the title shot they're so desperately after. They tie up here, and 2 times in a row, Blair gets the advantage in the collar and elbow tie-up. Takes the back on that, and there's a Scorpion Death Drop. As said earlier in the show, this is very much an IPW Underground style of matchup. These two ladies very much incarnate that style. The KOs, the striking games, potential to realistically destroy their opponents is what's Blair looking for here. Dumping into the skull of Nikita Lyons, just stepping off the back. That is certainly an impressive maneuver. Very much a deadly one at that. Just causing damage to the neck and the head area. Unprovoked. Blair not done. Hooks up Nikita. Roll up here. Could she steal it? 1. The seatbelt not enough. As they tie up for a 3rd time. Who gets the better of this one? Blair does. She locks in the side headlock. Wrenching down on it. Keeping Nikita tied up. Submission hold. Or wear down maneuver. Gonna do some work here, but Nikita takes the arm. Control. Shifting. Here's, well, she's wrenching down on that as well. Blair needs to break this hold. Can't do so. STO connects. And Nikita fired up. Calling Blair to her feet. Fired up. Gonna send her for a run. Missing the kick. Blair gonna capitalize. Seatbelt, I think, is going to be applied. Locks up Nikita down for not even a 1. Nikita striking back. Hip toss from Blair. Stops the momentum attempt from Nikita. Just tossing her head first into the mat. Lyons really needs to find something here, because Blair is on the offensive. Rings are set and applied. Escapes the hold. Nikita back to her feet. Scoop and a slam from Blair. Heads up top. Oh, big shot there. And pulled into the ring. Clubbing blow from Nikita. And this is that hard-hitting style we expected from these stars coming into play. Shots and blows for blow really doing work here as boots to the side of the face connecting. Nikita not gonna hit the splits. Davenport rolls out the way, realizes the danger instead. No, catches the hand, big knee connects. The shot could have knocked her out, but she's not done yet. She calls Nikita back up. This time, she's locking it in. The seatbelt in deep, forcing Nikita into a difficult situation. Able to get the shoulders off the mat. Nikita takes it back. Blow to the back as well. Inverted facebuster. Dropping Davenport, but Davenport quickly up. Realizes Nikita's starting to get the momentum going. Hits the kitchen sink. This is what Davenport needs. Slow down the pace. Keep Nikita, her explosivity at bay. Hurricane Rana stops Nikita's charging forward. The strikes coming through from Davenport. Drops the potential number one contender. Both ladies, potential number one contenders here. Only one can walk into cash out for that title match. Unless we get something insane happen. Irish whip sends Davenport into the black steel steps. There's Nikita trying to battle, trying to get going, but she instead is sent into the steps. Trade of positions as the count reaches 5. Either woman giving an edge here. Big boot avoided. And smartly, both ladies return into the ring before their count reaches anything higher than 7. Davenport heads up top, calling Nikita to her feet. High rent district, a place to attack. The boot's not going to connect. That drop kick pushed off by Lyons. Sends Davenport for a run. Misses that swinging kick. Instead eats a back elbow from Davenport. Blair lining her up. And the stomp connects. Not going to opt for the cover instead. Just looking to maim Nikita. Up over with the snapmare. Vicious is Davenport as she's got her target in her sight. Heads back up again. Will she hit it this time? Indeed she does. Instead of the dropkick, goes for the double axe. Less risk. More reward. She drills her into the mat. Goes for the roll-up. Can she get the win here, Davenport? The answer's no as Nikita kicks out. Blair giving it her all. As Nikita caught. Arms trapped and the knee connects. Nikita down as Blair falls into the pin and gets no. Not the win just yet. Still a little more needed to put Nikita away. Snap German from Blair. The former NXT UK champion. Demoralizing Nikita. But fighting back though is Lyons. Kicks landing. Trying to chop away at Blair. Davenport. Force her to the mat but can't do so. Davenport Irish whip. Sends Nikita packing up and over that top rope and out of the ring. Both ladies really giving it their all. As Davenport gonna be sent back into the ring by Lyons. Nikita. Spinning heel kick connects this time. Has she done enough? She drags Davenport away from safety. No rope break going to be needed. Instead, a hip attack. Spinning tornado kick connects. Nikita into the cover. Davenport down, but not out. She kicks out in time. Both ladies really showing why they deserve the matchup with Julia. Back breaker from Lyons. Blair, you're in trouble here. The splits this time connects. She's locked in the pin. The pose signifies victory, but the response from Davenport says we still go on. Maybe not a second split. 1, 2. Good night. Defiance from Davenport forces Lyons' hand. And in the end, that defiance meant nothing. Because Nikita Lyons is #1 contender for Julia's Amethyst Championship. What about these two ladies put on? Back and forth through it all. Lyons missed her first attempt at the splits. But the second and third, pinpoint accurate. And, well, Davenport had no answer. Bang goes the splits #1 that actually landed. Caused the kick out, but as soon as the kick out happened, bang, splits 2. Nikita landed it flush and earned the victory.
Here is your winner, Nikita Lyons.
One more #1 contender crowned. We have one more. Our main event, Tag Team Classic Eliminator. Well, Primetime's bracket ended with Team 3D earning the victory on Tuesday night. Now it's the AOP and DIY's turn to show why they deserve to be #1 contenders.
The following is a tornado tag team match. On the way to the ring, accompanied by Paul Ellery at a combined weight of 620 pounds. Anchor and result, authors of pain.
AOP and DIY. As said through the majority of these tag team classics, the lowest seeds entering this tournament alongside LFI and Fraxium. They battled through 3 weeks of action to make it to the finals here tonight. Which of these two teams will complete the upset journey and earn themselves a shot against Team 3D and the undisputed tag team champions, the Usos. Primetime provided no shock in this tournament. Breakdown had the upsets.
And their opponents at a combined weight of 400 pounds, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, DIY.
A lot of what we've seen from these two teams can be game planned. The AOP have gone to war so many times here in IPW in tornado tag style bouts that realistically you just need to avoid getting isolated, work together to battle against them. Obviously both teams have the X factor of a manager. Paul Ellering for the AOP, Candice LeRae for DIY. In this Battle of the Black and Gold brand, let's get underway. It's already Akam taking down Ciampa, but Gargano has taken Rezar and now Akam down. The Tag Team Classic Eliminator certainly has been pretty epic since, well, the start of it. And looking at Cash Out, when we're going to have 3 teams battling against one another for a shot or for the gold. As the referee's taken out already. Not good if you're Rezar, who eats a cutter from Johnny Gargano and then a pump kick hits the side of Akam. DIY have isolated off one member of the AOP as Paul Ellering getting involved for the first time in this match. Distracting Johnny Gargano, who's gonna not eat some offense here from Rezar. Instead, it's Rezar eating some DIY style offensive. Neckbreaker leaping into the air was Gargano for it. A lot of distance to cover with that type of maneuver as well. Ciampa taking it to Akam as this is DIY being smart. Protecting each other's backs against the AOP. Rezar gonna thwart what Gargano had for him, but Ciampa again back on the offensive, attacking his opponent. Ciampa lining up Rezar. The knee's gonna connect. More of the shin than the knee. But it's still a big time shot onto Rezar as Akam's forced to kick out here. A first weapon brought into the picture here by Ciampa. Utilizing that baseball bat to great effect against Rezar of the AOP. Ciampa and Gargano realistically showing some sound tag team offense, but a roll up here. Akam trying to steal it, catching Gargano off guard, but only not even a 1 count. This though, big high knee. Causing some carnage. Artie offers a pain, but DIY. Clever cutter from Gargano. Super kick as well. Ciampa into the cover. As Gargano's dissecting the next pinfall applicant. He gets a 2 on Rezar. Meanwhile, Ciampa, fairy tale ending. Sending, I believe that is Akam into the mat. Gargano. Rezar picks the ankle. Gargano escape applied. DIY are unrelenting in this matchup. It's locked in deep. Gargano not going to get the tap though. Ciampa. Fairy tale ending again. Gargano watching on. Could have broke it up, but instead going to opt for the super kick to the face. Sledgehammer into Akam. Gargano, Ciampa, delivering. DIY want this. Up and down with the tornado DDT goes Gargano. Pinfall attempt onto Rezar by Ciampa. Akam sent running into that exposed steel ring as the top turnbuckle pad removed by Candice LeRae. Akam trying to get going against DIY. Cannot do so. Gargano protecting Ciampa. Ciampa dealing with Rezar as Gargano sends Akam flying off the top. Rezar's going for the cover. Somehow got the better of Ciampa. Tries to go for that chokeslam. Cannot get it. Instead, it is DIY protecting one another. Backstabber. Hitting Rezar. Moonsault from Gargano. Chokeslam applied, but broken up. Gargano hit by a baseball bat by his partner, but it does not matter because Ciampa's protecting him with a fairy tale ending. Akam stacking Ciampa up, trying to steal it. Desperation mode for AOP, who've been on the receiving end of all the punishment in this match. Ciampa trying to break it up. Can't do so. And now forced to receive some punishment from Akam. Rezar now with the heavy artillery, the weaponry coming into the picture for the AOP. Finally, DIY. Have they exhausted all that energy? The dominance in the early stages shaken off now by the authors of pain. Akam launches Ciampa into the barricade. Inside the ring, Gargano going for the cover. But it's broken up pretty quickly by Akam. Ciampa slowly back to his feet. It's Paul Ellering again getting involved. Akam hooking it up. Hammer applied, but spoiler alert, there's a pinfall attempt by Ciampa, trying to just steal the win from underneath the guise of Akam. Gargano down. Pin broken up. Ciampa watching on, hits the knee. That steel ring again coming into effect. DIY protect one another. Gargano now back up. Ciampa, big blow to the back. Trying to go for the ankle again is Gargano. Maybe setting up for that Gargano escape. Cannot get it this time. Instead, Ciampa having to do the hard work. Again, that exposed turnbuckle working in the favor of DIY. Gargano leaping over the top with that DDT. He's just forcing havoc, rolling through. Akam eats a big shot. Inside the ring, Rezar dropped by Ciampa. Ciampa's swinging for the fences. Looking for that home run. Hitting the head of his opponent. And now a fairy tale ending onto the baseball bat. Pinfall attempt. Could this be it? Yes, it is. DIY just pick apart the authors of pain. Showcase such solid cohesiveness to earn the victory here and become #1 contenders for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships here in IPW. And a date with Team 3D and the Usos on the card. What a way to do it as well. Ciampa the heavy artillery. Gargano, the backup needed. And I look at this matchup. If EIY are able to do this against the Authors of Pain, a team that I would say is very similar to Team 3D, realistically speaking, we could be in a good position for an epic battle at Cash Out. Now, with this matchup in the books, we kind of have to look at what's to come this weekend. That's right. As we see the finishing sequence.
Here are your winners, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, DIY.
One thing is left to do before this weekend's live event. Let's run down the card, the action that we have for you. Well, this weekend's card is set to be an epic one, filled to the brim with action. As in total, we've got 8 big people matchups. We start off the show with the television championship on the line in the women's division, as Victoria and Fallon Henley go to war yet again for that championship in a no count out, no DQ style matchup. From there, Abyss and Talatonga are set for war here in IPW's television division, who will walk out champion in that one. Afterwards, we saw them crown number 1 contenders tonight. It's the Bella Twins taking on Fatal Influence in a matchup for the Women's Tag Team Championships. From there, we head over to another matchup we guaranteed a number 1 contender tonight for. It's Nikita Lyons versus Julia for the Amethyst Championship. Afterwards, we hit our 4-match top of the card big boy matches. It's LA Knight, Will Ospreay for the Emerald Belt. That's going to be one heck of a battle there. Followed up with the matchup that's just been delivering. Nia Jax, Liv Morgan, the battle of the Ruby Belt, who walks away holding that championship. Afterwards, our co-main event, it is the Tag Team Championships. The Tag Team title eliminator concludes with the Usos putting their belts on the line against Team 3D and DIY. And finally, our main event. The Tribal Chief, the head of the table, defends the Undisputed World Heavyweight Championship against the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. That's one heck of a card. All championship bouts, all action this weekend. Strap on in, because it's time to cash out. See you there.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss that fact, taking big